Hi, welcome. Take a seat. We're about to begin. But before we do, could you please join me in a moment of silence? I felt good. Thank you for joining me. Today, we will be discussing the Dark Universe, Universal's most recent failed attempt at creating a cinematic universe with public domain characters such as Dracula or the Mummy, right? But before we get into that, what is a cinematic universe? Well, a cinematic universe is a series of connected films and or shows. It was most recently popularized with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or MCU, starting in 2008 with the first Iron Man film. But this wasn't the first cinematic universe. No, the first recorded instance of a shared universe between films began in 1931 with public domain monster Dracula by Universal. Universal Classic Monsters is widely considered to be the first cinematic universe, running from 1931 to the early 50s, with characters like Dracula, Frankenstein, the Invisible Man, the Creature from the Black Lagoon, and the Mummy appearing across multiple films. It eventually died off because after about 20 years, the profits were diminishing returns and the audiences weren't as excited. Universal, the company which oversaw the cinematic universe, has tried to reboot this idea multiple times throughout the years, with varying degrees of success. In 1992, with Bram Stoker's Dracula, directed by Francis Ford Coppola, starring Gary Oldman, Winona Ryder, Anthony Hopkins, and that really cool, super wholesome man, Keanu Reeves. In 1994, with Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, directed by Kenneth Branagh, and Robert De Niro as Frankenstein's monster. And also in 94, there was a weird Wolfman movie called Wolf with Jack Nicholson. Weird. But most successfully in 1999 with The Mummy, the Brendan Fraser one. There have been other attempts since the 90s. We've seen a Hugh Jackman Van Helsing movie. There's a weird Dracula origin story movie in the early 2010s, but that's not what we're here for. We're here for the Dark Universe. So where's a better place to start than the trailer for 2017's The Mummy, starring Tom Cruise.
What the hell?
No!
This trailer was posted by the IMAX YouTube channel with half of the sound effects missing. I'm not kidding. This actually happened. You know, it's quite poetic that the Dark Universe first introduction to the world was this botched, considering that the film itself and the universe overall isn't a masterpiece. It's fairly obvious when watching the movie that it's all being set up for a better one down the line. It's a 0 to 60 in terms of shoddy world building. There's this agency named Prodigium that Russell Crowe runs, who's playing, spoilers, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And they're a group of monster hunters that Tom Cruise stumbles into. It's all just a bit much. Like, they walk past shelves that have, like, vampire teeth and Creature from the Black Lagoon gills. It's so obvious that they're trying to build like an Avengers movie. Every single line Russell Crowe says is some variation on the world is expanding. You thought you were living in a normal universe? Well, Tom Cruise, you're living in a dark universe. In comparison with the first Iron Man film, it's very out there. And I love out there films, but it's very ham-fisted. Like, yeah, this is cool, right? Just wait. It's gonna get a whole lot cooler. Before The Mummy is released globally, Universal very boldly releases this image, teasing the future of the Dark Universe. Featuring, left to right, Russell Crowe, Javier Bardem, Tom Cruise, Johnny Depp, and Sofia Boutella. The planned movies for this dark universe include, spoilers ahead for The Mummy 2017, Frankenstein, where Javier Bardem plays Frankenstein's monster. Mummy sequel picks up where Tom Cruise turns into the Egyptian god. After the hijinks of the first film, Sofia Boutella would probably return as the Mummy. An Invisible Man movie with Johnny Depp as the Invisible Man, an Angelina Jolie Bride of Frankenstein movie. All of these would culminate in a planned Avengers type team up where all these monsters go up against Prodigium, the Russell Crowe monster hunter group. Now, as we all know, these movies never came out. With The Mummy 2017 being a box office and critical failure, this led to the Dark Universe fizzling out. But there's still hope for the Dark Universe. In early 2020, Universal released The Invisible Man, reconfigured from the original Johnny Depp version by a little Australian man named Lee Wynell, co-creator of Saw. This movie performed perfectly, drawing big box office numbers on a very small budget and gaining rave reviews from critics and audiences alike. And it ends with a great tease for a sequel. In July 2020, Deadline reported that Lee Wynell will be returning to the Universal monster world and will write and direct a Wolfman movie with Ryan Gosling in the lead role. Could we eventually be seeing Tom Cruise cross paths with Ryan Gosling's Wolfman? It's not likely. Also, it's wise to note that it has not been confirmed whether or not Wolfman is connected to the Invisible Man, as of now. In discussing the Dark Universe, it's important to consider two questions. Why did it happen? And what made it fail? With the popularization of shared cinematic universes by Marvel's MCU and to varying degrees DC's DCEU, Universal thought they could do the same with public domain characters that they've been working with for almost a century by now. And it failed because it tried to do too much too quickly. And it seems Universal has learned this lesson and they're taking things slow with The Invisible Man and Wolfman. And all we can hope as an audience is that from the ashes of this dark universe comes a better one. A darker universe.
Darker universe. Did you come up with that, William?
Yeah, do you like it?
No.
Alright. Hey guys, thanks for watching. What do you think about the Dark Universe? Should it have continued? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below and let me know if there's anything that you think I should cover in the future. Like the video if you liked the video, subscribe if you're new here, and have a great day. Alright, bye-bye now.